check, chop it down, check, 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 chop it down, check, 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 chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down. I just appreciate everybody watching. Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, let me put my phone up, man. Welcome into the Commanders Morning Show. You know what time it is, man. You know what Wednesdays is for. Let me get my music going. My bad. Hold on, right quick. Hold up, player. Hold on, player. In the meantime, while I'm getting my music right, if you are new, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube side. And follow button. If you are watching on Twitter, appreciate you checking in. If you are commenting on Twitter, I cannot see the comments in the live stream or Periscope, whatever it is, but you are more than welcome to stay there. But if you want to be a part of the show, try to migrate over to YouTube if you can. That'll be greatly appreciated as well. I think we're good. I think we're good with the administrative items. Yes, sir. The morning Trappers Hawk know it. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the film. I will say this much. If you are not a person who is a fan of objective criticism, I don't think you should be watching this. I don't think you should be watching this, man. So for context, throughout the course of the last 24 hours, I have been like I normally do when the games come out. Last week I couldn't do it because I was on work travel. I was very limited. But I posted two clips, and we're gonna show it today. We're gonna show it this morning. I posted two clips of quarterback play. It was a negative and a positive. Guess which one the Heineke Hive drew attention to? It wasn't the positive one. I had very little engagement with the positive play that I put out there. However, that Heineke Hive, it's a real thing, and I will never, this is probably my first and last time ever saying that phrase on this show. But they put the negative on the spotlight and said that I was nitpicking. But they didn't mention the same clip that I put out there that was positive. I'm gonna say this right now. If you are watching this, I appreciate you watching. But if you are not a fan of objective criticism, then I need to make sure that you are fairly warned before we get into this film session that you're gonna have some good and you're gonna have some bad from Taylor Heineke. If you can't stomach the bad, get to stepping. That's what Martin say. Marty Mart. Get to stepping. Come on, player. Al 2, what's going on with you, man? What's up to the Morning Trappers once again? Yes, sir. Hey, you good? We're gonna show the plays. You already know what we do today. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it, man. No more talking. I just had to give everybody a warning. I think I'm gonna do that for the rest of the season. We got 4 games left. I'm gonna say it every time. If you are not a fan of objective criticism, get to stepping. Let's go ahead and get right into it, man. I'm going from top to bottom in order. I'm not going to show like the minutia I'll probably like show like the highlights or the more important plays, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna see how this thing feels. Because I don't have that many clips, I don't think. Oh, damn, never mind, I do. Okay. Let me sort this shit. Let me sort this. Let's start with the first drive, right? Let's start with the first drive. And we'll go back to back. And let me share, present, share, and let's do boom. I think this works, right? Let me double check. Hide, bring up. I think we're good. Let me just get this thing situated over her. All right, boom. So we're good. All right, we're good. Okay, so this is obviously the very first drive, right? Washington gets the ball off a turnover. Jonathan Allen forces, and we are now approaching the red zone for Washington. I thought that Scott Turner he was well prepared in that first drive. Things came pretty easy for this offense through the pass game and the run game, and they end up not necessarily, well, I mean, truthfully, they extended the drive, but they set themselves up in a perfect situation here against the Giants approaching the red zone, where now you have your 12 personnel, or maybe let me double check. This may be 13. Yeah, this is 13, my bad. So you got two tight ends right here. Logan Thomas. I want to say this is Cole Turner and this is John Bates. You have Cam Sims out, Logan Thomas out, and you're in a 13 personnel look, favoring the run, especially with Cam Sims, and you're not necessarily like in a situation where you're showing any semblance of pass. So now the play action is able to suck in your linebackers, your second level defenders, which clears out the over in this cover 3 look, right? So you have Cam Sims and Logan Thomas both running an over route, with Taylor Heineke having max protection all across the board. Everybody's winning up front in terms of holding up their pass pro. So that's good, right? And for what it's worth, Washington was in max pro several occasions throughout the game. Some worked well, some didn't. This is one of the instances where it worked well. We'll showcase some of the other instances where it didn't and why it didn't work. But your first look where you're seeing, matter of fact, they started out the gate in max pro. This ain't the first play that they started out in max pro, but they didn't waste any time with the Giants pass rush. So again, you got your crossers right here, right? And because that play action sucks up your linebackers and your second level defenders, you get an opportunity heading towards the end zone with Logan Thomas. Who the hell was he throwing to? Who the hell was he throwing to? All right, let's run it again. Who the hell was he throwing to? Now, again, when you watch this, though, and you think about the scoring opportunities that Logan could have had, he was kind of short in terms of sideline space. So there's a couple things, right? Obviously, Heineke gets hit, but the ball is out well before the hit. So that's actually interesting that it wasn't a flag. It's very interesting. But if the ball is out, like right here, then Logan probably has a for sure opportunity to score. And if it's thrown with room on the sideline for him to cut up field, then he has a for sure opportunity to throw. But it's like a second late. So if he gets the ball, I still think he has a good chance to score. But I think the gap between the defenders was close. So it makes it a little bit tougher. But Logan is like 260. He can turn upfield and get in the end zone. Again, you see the opportunity that was missed. Wide open a really good call from Scott Turner, given that it's the play action off of 13 with Cam Sims out there, 13 personnel. So you're giving run look. You're giving, I want to run the football in this situation. I'm going to have these linebackers play run, and I'm going to make sure that we get behind them if they don't stay disciplined. And they don't stay disciplined. He just overthrows. Very next play, you have the B-Rob look. Now, granted, I love this play. I love this play. And I'll run it, and then we can talk about it. I'm gonna show both angles. Okay. So in this instance, right? Let's go ahead and start. Let's start here. It's probably the better one. So in this instance, you have another 13 personnel look. Who's the wide out? I think that was Cam Sims too, right? Okay. So you got Cam Sims out there too. So 13 personnel, once again, Cam Sims out there as the lone receiver. And right now, what you're doing is with your 3 tight ends, you have them heavily aligned on the right side. Their strong side is your right side with 3 tight ends on that side. So what does the New York Giants do? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defenders in the box. And with those 9 defenders in the box, the weak side only has 1, 2, 3 players that's accounting for the weak side, right? So to start with, I'm talking about the play design. We're going to get to B-Rob in a second. To start with it, you have Andrew Norwell pulling. You have some down blocks, right? Well, one down block. But now you have Logan Thomas climbing to the second level. You have that puller filling, right? He's filling, replacing Logan Thomas, who's climbing to the second level. So now he's pulling. But what does all this action do? And mind you, big on big right here with Charles Leno on the backside. So all of this run action look with your line of scrimmage, with your linemen, is giving eye candy to that second level. I want to get my running back in space. But how do I get him in space with a lead blocker in a one-on-one opportunity, right? Like, it's on him to stay accountable. But look where his eyes are. He's following the puller. He don't even know that, like, where are we going? Look where the running back is. So, again, all this eye candy, let's go back. Right? I want to influence the second level on the strong side and get my running back out in space. That speed is allowing him to beat 53 to the edge. That's easy money for Brian Robinson. And you have Charles Leno sailing off anybody from the backside. So it leaves Brian Robinson in a one-on-one situation with this guy. So in all, you see kind of how the setups are, right? And the controversy on game day was that Brian Robinson casually stepped out of bounds, which he did. However, if you look again from the coach's angle in the coach's film, you see that his momentum kind of carried him out of bounds. He was going out of bounds, I think. Now, you could have you probably wanted to see him fight for those extra yards, because Cam Sims is out there lead blocking. If he's able to maintain and tightrope that sideline, you have a chance to score. But his momentum is taking him out of bounds. I said momentum. Oh my God. His momentum is taking him out of bounds. So those are your first 2 opportunities that you have, or first looks that you have and try to score for Washington, right? This is the same drive that ends up in a field goal, 3 points after the turnover. So you gotta, like, when people look at Taylor Heinicke, when people look at opportunities like B-Rob, again, I think his momentum carried him out of bounds. So I'm not too critical as I once was on game day. But the first play, you cannot afford to miss that. He also had another opportunity on 3rd and goal, where while I think Taylor Heinicke probably couldn't see Jahan Dotson, who was wide open in the end zone due to pressure, I personally think that the pressure impeded his ability to see Jahan Dotson in the end zone. I think these are the big differences between 3 points and 6 points. And for a person who was limited at the quarterback position, as a quarterback, from his physical ability, you can't afford to be a quarterback who can't execute in the red zone. That is problematic. When those opportunities like Logan Thomas is gifted to you, you have to connect. There is no excuse for not being able to connect in a situation where that max protection holds up. You have plenty of time to throw that, and you sail it. Those happen, right? People say quarterback misses all the time. No shit. There is not a quarterback in the history of the NFL who has finished their career with 100 plus games and had 100% completion percentage. But the difference between a good quarterback and a bad quarterback is people who actually execute in big situations, and that is a big situation. Okay. I don't even know how he missed this layup. He lays over the linebacker, puts no air under it. Like the red zone package, Cole Turner, Kansas City's big targets, he can run the pass. Yes, I like how you thinking. The 3 tight end sets, 13 personnel. Like you have the personnel to really dictate if you want to run or pass it, because you have good receiving tight ends who can really create down. Well, I ain't gonna say create downfield yet. I think Cole Turner can create downfield, and I think Logan, to an extent, especially in the red zone, can create downfield. I would love to have Armani Rogers back, but who knows what the hell he got going on. Do they have any audible plays that you've seen on film? Audibles, I'm not sure. I don't think there's probably checks, but I don't know. I don't know specifically about that, Hawk. I'm not gonna lie to you. He said the run stuck with me too. My guess in real time was he lost balance, but still it's an arm tackle away from an easy score. Yeah, go for it. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, go for it. Like, I would like to see the effort, but I do think his momentum taking him out of bounds. D-Rod was telling the world he was going to run angry with the cleats, maybe. So just to start, but eat, you can eat. On the score, don't come every play for us. I think that one, our Nick Martin is in Taylor Heinicke face on the Dotson play. Yeah, that's kind of where I was at, right? That's why I was like, I didn't really, I think pressure was there and it impeded his ability to really see Dotson downfield. And I couldn't really, I really didn't criticize him like others did on that 3rd and goal opportunity. Because in the moment that Dotson is open, Heinicke is rolling out of the pocket. I can't, why would I criticize that man for that? That's different though. That's different. Okay. So let's get to a positive. Where are we at? All right, boom. Here we go. Let's get to the Terry McLaurin touchdown right quick. And let's showcase exactly what that man does well. Terry, and come here, girl. Come here. Oh, don't be stepping on my cords, though. Hey, move your leg, crack. Bro, move your leg. Dakota, move your gut. Thank you. What the hell wrong with you? It's my house. This ain't your house. All right. So let's get to the Terry mesh route and Taylor's pocket presence. Let's run it and then talk about it. Okay. Easy money for Terry, right? So let's start from the top. I think we all know, or maybe we should have known pregame, right, that Washington was always going to face a lot of man coverage against the New York Giants. That's what they like to run. It is what it is. That doesn't change against anybody. So in this instance, you got your 3-by-1 look, 3 receivers over here, and Terry iso'd on the boundary with, I think, Fabian Moreau. Now you got Washington facing 7 possible rushers at the line of scrimmage. But you got 5 linemen and your running back out there and 11 personnel altogether. The way the Giants run, my bad, I don't know why I stopped right there, but the way the Giants kind of play this and how they play typically throughout a game versus opponents is they dress up their cover 1 pressures, they dress up their cover 0s, but primarily against Washington, they ran a lot of cover 1s and disguised where the pressure was coming from and did a really good job at it, right? So now you have only 4 rushers right now. And essentially you got a robber or maybe a spy, depends on how he's playing it. I'm assuming he has eyes on the quarterback. I'm not going to lie to you. And then you got your 1 man against the running back, right? So if he stays in, which he does, it gives India coming out, my bad. And this is actually weird because you got both of them coming out. I think somebody made a mistake here. One of their Giants players made a mistake because somebody was supposed to stay on the quarterback and both of them went out. But point being, the way they dress us up at the line of scrimmage, that's the key to protecting and pass protection for Taylor Heinicke is understanding where that pressure is coming from. And you'll understand what I mean as we continue throughout the film session. But point being right now is that's what certain things look like at the line of scrimmage. For Terry, when you have that cover 1, right, all you got to do is beat your man. And the way that his defender is playing him, Terry is facing outside leverage, right? Outside leverage cornerback. So all he has to do, take that jab step inside, right? And the good thing with Terry is how he's selling his mesh. He's not just running flat across the field, right? Look where he takes his first step. His first step tells me, or tells that cornerback looking at his body language, I'm going to run a crosser. I'm running over here. Or over to be more specific, but I'm running a little bit more vertical than what a drag or a crosser, shallow cross would look like, right? So now you see how the separation is created. So now we look at his first 2 steps again. First step is vertical or slightly vertical. Next step is flat and horizontal. So now you got instant separation because 1, he does a good job with his stem, but then 2, he has the foot speed and acceleration to create distance. And when you have that ability in man coverage and on a mesh route, right? A mesh concept that is designed for Terry, it's hard for him to keep up. So let's run it and you'll see the acceleration right there as he separates, right? All you got to do is go out there and get the ball to him in any way you can. And Terry does the rest. But the good job with Taylor, and we'll show it on the other end, Cornelius Lucas gives up a pressure. And this ain't nothing new for Cornelius Lucas. But he gives up a pressure on the edge. But good job by Taylor Heinicke being able to sense that pressure, just dip that outside shoulder, keep his eyes downfield because he knows where his crosser is. Find Terry and just give him a pass. Just give him something. Like, I'm not even criticizing the fact that it's inaccurate. You just got to get the ball out there and hope that he makes a play, which he does. And boom, there you go, touchdown. Easy money. Well executed from Taylor and Terry, put it that way. And well executed from Curtis Samuel, who was on the other side crossing, forcing Fabian Moreau to go around the action. That was good. Good all together. Good all together. We should have scored 40 on the Giants, considering they had one of our former, oh Lord, plays better when he plays with the razzle dazzle. Was that underarm? Nah, he just dodged that thing, man. Yes, he is. He is, man. Okay, so where are we at? That was play 17. Okay, let's show some little love to Brian Robinson, and then we'll get into some of the issues that ended up showing itself Okay. Oops, I gotta show the play first. All right, I'm gonna show Brian Robinson some love right quick, man. I want everybody to know that Brian Robinson is starting to feel himself, man. He's back in the fold from a health standpoint, man. He's starting to trust himself. And look at this play right here. Simple 5-yard run, but the play was blown up on the run was blown up on the play side. There's a run in a duo, simple duo here, right? Play gets blown up, designed for right here, but you saw what just happened. Kayvon Thibodeaux, number 5, knocks John Bates out of the I don't know, like I don't know, but essentially just blows John Bates up right out of the play, puts him right there. But now you have Sam Cosmi, right? Sam Cosmi, big on big, number 99, Leonard Williams. Drives him out, right? So what 99 or Sam Cosmi and Tyler Larson do is create a new lane for him. It was just organic within the play structure, right? Or excuse me, within the play. It wasn't like a design thing, but the way this thing unfolded was a new lane formed right here for Brian Robinson. And I just think that when you see kind of how instinctively he reacts to the play breaking down, but not panicking, keeping his feet moving, right? And finding that new lane, it goes from a possible negative to a 5-yard gain. And truthfully speaking, if you look at it from the other angle, right? If this guy misses the tackle, you're talking about a bigger run. You're talking about a one-on-one with 37, and there is nobody behind 37. There's nobody behind 37. So that was really good from Brian Robinson to save the play and make something, make a positive out of something that was kind of blown up. A good play by Kayvon, who started that thing. So yeah, that was good. Let's go ahead and go to another Brian Robinson run that kind of showcased him. Where is the? Okay, boom. This is it. Here we go. This one is out of order, but this is going to be the 2 B-Rob runs that I'm gonna show some love, and we're gonna get back to the rest of the game. Okay. All right, here we go. 12-yard run. Again, active feet, right? But also being able to power through a tackle at the first level. 96 does half the job right. Through 78 down like it was nothing. Through 78 down like it was nothing. Now you have Brian Robinson able to power through that first level tackle, accelerate to get more yards, man. Again, just a runner who's feeling himself right now in a good way, man. He has that confidence back, and that's just 2 runs. He had several runs throughout the day where you're like, okay, like he's in a rhythm, he's in a zone, and it's just a matter of time till he starts taking over and dominating games. Like, and his presence is getting felt. And now I may be a little bit in terms of like ahead of the curve, because I think that the offensive line they're doing okay, but he can definitely use some better blockers. But at the end of the day, Brian Robinson is increasingly getting more productive throughout games and throughout as the weeks move along. So that's really good. He's getting better and better every week. What's going on, KV? Appreciate you checking in. Good morning to everybody that's just checking in. Make sure that like button, make sure that subscribe button if you are new as well. Let's keep it pushing to the rest of the plays. All right, so now here we go. Right after that B-Rob 5-yard carry that I told you about with Duo, the very next play was a 2nd and 5 sack. And for context purposes, so we can kind of keep in terms of like the track of the game, this was the 3rd drive. It was the 3rd drive of the game. I think the Giants had just scored to make it 10-3. So now you're in a situation where, let's go ahead to, okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and run it. And this is essentially what knocks them out of like rhythm, because they end up punting. And obviously, as we know, ends up going up to 10-10. Okay, so you kind of see what's going on. Let's start with downfield. Everything's covered. Long story short, right? Everything is covered here. There's nothing really available to Washington. You have a cover one man situation, right? This is a true man situation with, I think, 5 rushers. So, but they also have what? I think that's 6. 1, 2, yeah, 6-man blocking. All right, so you got 6 blockers in. All right, so here we go. You kind of see what's going on right here. Everybody's covered downfield. Nothing available for the most part in that 2nd and 5. They tried to take a shot, didn't work. But now you have up front the issue. I think that there was a scrambling opportunity for Taylor if he was able to get past this, but it wasn't on him. It really starts with Andrew Norwell. Leonard Williams is a hell of a player, right? We're not gonna discard that. However, straight bull rush beats Andrew Norwell off rips. Andrew doesn't have any leverage, any type of leverage, because he can't get his hands on he can't get his hands on Leonard Williams at all. He's trying to, but he can't. Leonard Williams is keeping himself clean, right? So now at this point, typically in a situation where you get beat inside or outside, your next best thing is to try to wash the defender. And what washing people means essentially is just trying to get them around an arc and create a new lane for your quarterback. So you'll see what Andrew tries to do. That's this part right here. When Leonard Williams is hip to hip with your lineman, or when any defender is hip to hip with your lineman, that defender is winning. Like, it ain't nothing that they could do at that point except for try to wash him around the arc, and that's what Norwell naturally does. However, when he does this, he knocks his center down. He knocked his center down. So Leonard wins inside, right, which is good, and he knocks his center down ultimately, and that leaves 71 uncovered in a situation where Taylor could have scrambled, but he couldn't because Tyler Lawson falls, and that's the end of it. Pass pro. And if you all were here last night on the Trap or Die podcast, I said my main thing about this offense, when people talk about mobility, you got to understand that it's a layered conversation with your quarterbacks. It's not just about the player himself. You got to worry about that offensive line. And if that offensive line is not capable of protecting, we're going to show some more. But if that offensive line is not capable of protecting, like, why are we talking about mobility for a quarterback? Like, it doesn't matter if Taylor's back there. Carson Wentz can be back there too. But both of those players are going to get hit. It is what it is. He's kind of shy. He's 76, supposed to be double teamed, and he stacks his gun. God never even reaches for the double team. Good thing B-Rob can break. So keep it pushing. Good thing B-Rob can break tackles. Yes, that's a fact. That boy strong. That boy part of strong gang, bruh. 2 offensive linemen push right into Taylor Heineke's lap. Yep. And we're not done yet. Where are we at? So let's go ahead and keep it pushing. We had a touchdown opportunity for Jahan Dotson. We're going to show that right now. So this was like 3 plays later. So obviously the next drive, right? Where is it at? All right, here we go. This was the next drive. Okay. So I had several plays in here, but I'm gonna just show this one. But this was the next drive, and Terry McLaurin gets the 20-yard completion. Right, it's a 2-man route again, max protection. Right, we were talking about this early on. Max protection holds up in some instances. Sometimes it didn't. It primarily held up when Washington came out in 12 personnel, 13 personnel. But you'll see, like, when they started coming out in 11 personnel is where they had some issues. All right. So again, completion right here, right? The issue is, and if you all remember from our last film sessions, my main thing with Taylor is that he bird dogs. That's staring down your receiver, right? So he's throwing in an instance where Terry is great. So you can trust Terry in most instances. This is one of those instances where you can trust him. Clear completion, 20-yard completion is what it is. Chains keep moving, right? But look at the bottom of the film. Bottom of the video. You got Jahan running the post. Wide open. He ain't giving that a time of day. And there's no reason for me to sit here and say, I can criticize the play. We can criticize the play. And if he ain't looking his way, it don't matter, right? But I think the issue is the way they're even aligned. You have your high safety, or the safety that's on Terry's side. Like, he's already giving help to the cornerback based on their alignment. Like, he's playing outside. You have a safety right here that's over the top. He's playing anything breaking in. They're respecting Terry. He has anything outside, that safety has eyes on Terry. Anything that comes in, he got it. So look at that plant. As soon as Terry broke in, he's gone. As a quarterback, though, I think that the quarterback should understand that the Terry is going to have eyes on him. So if I trust Jahan Dotson, which I should, I know that he's probably going to have a one-on-one opportunity on the other side. That's a touchdown. It's a touchdown, man. That's a touchdown. Would have been a touchdown. Missed opportunity. Again, we're talking about, and the thing is, like, people are asking, like, can Taylor make that throw? We've seen Taylor make a 40-yard, 42-yard, 44-yard throw on the money, but that was in plus territory. So he made that throw 40 yards and in. They got 60, 70 yards to go. I don't think Taylor trusts his arm when you got that much yards to go compared to being 40 and in, where you can just throw it towards the end zone and your receiver can make it. That's kind of the difference in terms of, like, the arm strength conversation. I think Taylor can make a 40-yard throw. He probably could make a 50-yard throw, but he can probably only trust himself when he's on the plus side of the field. Well, we might as well run a 2 QB system because we clearly don't have no. Well, you know how toxic that'll be. That'll be so toxic, bro. People be like, man, keep Taylor in. That boy cooking. Keep Carson in. That boy cooking. Any negative play, all right, get Carson out, man. It's difficult there, though. He shouldn't stare down Terry, but if he hesitates and hasn't seen Dotson, but Dotson ain't open, it's a blown play. He needs to learn to look off Terry. Money out too. And I think, remember the interception against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? What happened on that? Matter of fact, I think that's the game where I kept talking about he was staring down receivers, specifically Terry. It wasn't just the only game, but that's how the interception happened. It should have been 2. Like, he stared down Terry. It was the same thing. Cover 4. They ran the same play twice in two different moments of the game. One was almost picked off. The other one was picked off. I 100% agree with you in that Terry is the number 1 receiver, clearly. We all know that, Al, too. Like, we know Terry is the number 1 receiver, right? Terry deserves 10-plus targets a game. But you got to understand that you have other receivers on your team who can make plays. you got to understand that Terry can sometimes be used to your advantage to get other receivers open or get other receivers the ball. And that's where I'm at, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Where are we at? I think we are on play 31. Badge. Oh yeah, 31. So now we're going to talk about a little bit how the pressures affected Washington. And if you all remember from that first drive, how I was trying to explain how the Giants dressed up their pressures, right? And they did a really good job of creating confusion up front, right? Sometimes Washington, I believe, just didn't even trust. Now this wasn't the exact Max Pro look, I don't think, but sometimes Washington just didn't even trust, like, to call the protection the right way. They just said, fuck it, we're gonna stay in max and we'll figure things out from there. But let's go ahead and run it, because I'm talking and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and run it, and then we'll show how the pressure impacted the play. Okay. So the full play, I'll get this out of the way right now. There's two things. You have Terry was third in. This is a 2nd and 10 situation, right? Again, this is the same drive that resulted in, I think this was a 0 points, I believe, play 31. I think this is the play that resulted in 0 points. I think so. Or maybe the play that maybe the drive that resulted in 3 points. I don't remember. Either way, point is 2nd and 10, Giants territory. Terry's running the speed out. Curtis Samuel's running a curl. Taylor looks Terry's way. Ball should be out right now. You're going to have to take my word for it, because you're not going to see it on this angle. Terry is open off the break, but Taylor doesn't trust it. Maybe because he sees where the corner's at, but Terry doesn't trust it. I mean, Taylor doesn't trust it, so he looks him off. You see Curtis at the bottom of your screen right here. I'm going to move my mouse, but bottom of your screen right here, he's open for about 2 seconds. So my point is, yes, Taylor got hit. My thing is, if you're going to look Terry off, that field side should have been your first read. And if it was your first read, Curtis is open too. You don't even get hit. But he gets hit, and here's what happens up front and how the pressure confused Washington. The Giants are running. They only send 4, right? Wink Martindale, the Giants defensive coordinator, only sends 4, but he did a really good job of getting a free rusher onto Taylor. Now, I don't know who called this wrong in terms of the protection, but you got 5 up front, and you got Logan going out on a route. Maybe Leno thought Logan was going out on a route. However, what happens is when you send a creeper is a 2nd level defender rushing, and your first level rusher dropping. So 54 rushes, 51 drops. And when 54 rushes, that leaves Leonard Williams one-on-one, because of the angle that Leonard Williams takes, right? He goes upfield into Leno. 54 attacks the A gap, making either the center or the guard responsible for taking him. Because if the center or guard does not take him, he has a free path to the quarterback. But now that leaves Kayvon uncovered. So the way that Washington got fooled is because when 51 drops, you have 97 Dexter Lawrence damn near being triple teamed. It's 3-on-1. So you have three blockers occupying one defender. You have a center on a linebacker, you have a lineman big on big right here, one-on-one, and it leaves one rusher uncovered, free to the quarterback. So he throws it to AG. Curtis Samuel should have been the throw, but that's what happens when you can dress up pressure well. And this ain't the only time he did it. It was several more times, but that is a creeper blitz, a well-called creeper blitz, a well-executed creeper blitz from the Giants side. But there's nobody to pick up Kayvon. The slide protection, or excuse me, the offensive line got fooled. 51 drops. There you go. Boom, confusion. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. We're going to go ahead and move to, is that 35? Ooh, okay. Okay, here we go. 35. Dexter Lawrence. Boom, present. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So that's Dexter Lawrence running the play. You had Jahan Dotson on the over route. Jahan Dotson was open. And the pressure affected the throw. It's hard for me to say. I mean, truthfully, he could have made the throw, right? But under that much pressure, he's just trying to get the ball out. Same thing with Terry. He's just trying to get the ball out and give Jahan Dotson a chance. However, you have Tyler Larson, Wes Schweitzer Tyler Larson and Andrew Norwell responsible for doubling. This is a true double on Dexter Lawrence, and he's able to split them both. That's just an excellent player. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, obviously, it's an issue, right? You can't allow when it's 2-on-1 a double team. You're never allowing a defender to split that double, and it never should be okay. But when you have the other player on the other side who's just better, these are going to be some of the issues that you run into. So there you go. That's how pressure sometimes, like, they can have, look how many blockers they got in. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers in. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2-man route. And there's pressure in his face. You got a 2-man route. And your 8 can't block. What? 5? Come on, man. Come on. That's a problem, man. That's a problem, man. What's going on with you, kid? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Said one thing I noticed is the offensive line is always looking back at Taylor instead of each other. It seems like Taylor's making these protection calls. That's a good observation. I'm not going to lie to you, Altu. I never, like, once they said in the preseason or the offseason that the center is going to be making protection calls this year, I never even, like, looked back at the thought. But if that's the observation that you have, I'm not going to disagree with you, because I just at this point of the season, I just say center and quarterback. I don't ever put blame on one person. But to your point, hey, Cosby never able to get square on Dexter. Dexter just bullies that boy and flicks him. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. We're not done yet. It's the very next play, matter of fact. That's actually crazy. Okay. I didn't even know it was the next play. Let's go ahead and get that going. So I have several issues with this one. This is a 3rd and 8. So remember that second down call that we just showed, that was 2nd and 8. Should have been a first down, right? Jahan Dotson wide open. Should have been a first down. But let's go ahead and get into pressure affected it. I'm not blaming Taylor. Pressure affected it. This is the very next play. Where your sack fumble out of the half, right? So let's start with the routes and let's get to the protection after that. 3rd and 8. I want you all to understand that something is off here. Look where the sticks are. If you can see it, look at my mouse. Sticks are all the way right here. The nearest route break where they actually break their route, right? The nearest route break is 14 yards downfield. You have a 3-man route on a 3rd and 8, and your first route break is 14 yards downfield. Nobody's winning, mind you. Taylor's about to throw it to Jahan Dotson. That's tight coverage. Nobody's winning. Nobody won on this play. I don't even know. Like, I'm willing to say that this wasn't going to be completed, or it could have been worse than that. Either way, a turnover, right? I'm not going. It is what it is. So that's the first thing. I don't know why Washington chose to run this play call on 3rd and 8, where, and I think it could be possible that the route depth isn't proper. Like, it could be possible that Jahan Dotson took his route too far upfield, because there shouldn't be a reason why it took so long for them to get out of their route breaks. By the time he's getting ready to throw it, Jahan is just getting out of his route. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Let's move forward to the front side. All right, here we go. Oops, I didn't do that. All right, here we go. So, when you're facing the cover 1 man, essentially cover 1 robber, right? As we know, everybody. Matter of fact, I missed one important part. I'm sorry, my bad, y'all. They disguise this pretty well. So now you have a bracket on Terry as well. So it starts off as a disguise as too high, and then it ends up being that cover 1 with Terry essentially being double teamed. And I should have mentioned that part as well. But at that point, you have, because this is probably the best way to see it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the line of scrimmage, and you have this guy replacing Kayvon. So Kayvon goes outside, and he loops back inside to the interior. And now when you have John Bates in the block, Antonio Gibson in the block, I don't know what happens here, but Antonio Gibson freezes for a second. Did you see that? Kayvon freezes for a second. I mean, Antonio, my bad. He freezes for a second. So at one point, he's trying to help John Bates, but he stops. My thought is, I think he's trying to leak out and chooses against it, or he's concerned that 44 is going to blitz if he picks up the edge rusher. Either way, it gets picked up, right? But if it gets picked up earlier, it gives Taylor a little bit more time. So you see how that works out, right? It gives Taylor a little bit more time to step up and make that throw, wherever he was going to, which I think it was Jahan Dotson. The issue is, while we're talking about that one thing, Antonio Gibson freezing, it wasn't a good pass rep, by the way, by John Bates. It is what it is. But while Antonio Gibson freezes, the issue is when you face that cover 1 robber, what robber is a person, and again, it may be a spy too, I don't know. But this guy right here, all he's doing right now is staying in the middle with eyes on Taylor Heinicke. Because Antonio Gibson is staying in the block, 44 has nowhere to go. That's his man. These two are locked in. 44 is eyes on Antonio. So if Antonio isn't going out, I'm not going out. So what this does in the 3rd and 8 situation, when you're facing this man coverage and you have max protection in, he doesn't have anywhere to scramble. So the Giants countered, like they played this just as well. Wink Martindale played this just as well. Like, Washington wanted to keep max protection in to help the pass protection. And even still, the max protection didn't work on occasions, right? Throughout the game, it didn't work. And then you have instances where the cover 1, especially a robber, was able to eliminate the idea of Taylor Heinicke scrambling. So there were several things that was going on. I don't know. And obviously we talk about the route depth too. Like there's several things from the pass coverage to the routes ran to the pass protection to Antonio Gibson's decision to the robbers. Like it's a lot going on, man. And I ain't even talking about the fact that 78 got beat around the edge too. Like he got beat too. So it's a lot going on, man. Yeah, I agree. I think, and that's the thing. Like if he steps up, I think Antonio Gibson, like there's several things. Like if he steps up, that person that was checking Antonio Gibson is going to blitz. If he doesn't blitz, the spy is going to take care of Taylor Heinicke. I think Taylor knows this, which is why he has to stay in the pocket for as long as he can. I think the pass protection, it doesn't help that John Bates gets beat pretty quickly. And I think that's ultimately what does him in at some point, right? Taylor sits at the top of his drop with the ends collapsing on him, quicker feel for the pocket and can buy himself a lot more time. Yeah, that part too. And that's the thing too, Al, too, and that's kind of what I was pointing to. Like, who is you throwing to? That's literally where I'm getting at. Like, I'm not saying take the sack though. I'm thinking you have an opportunity to try to get some yards, right? If you had a little bit more time, you have an opportunity to get some yards. But I agree with you again. Like, who are you throwing to? That didn't make no sense. That didn't make no sense. It's 3rd and 8 though. I'm willing to sit here and let you make a play. Like, buy yourself some time. If you can escape the pocket, go for it. But I ain't making that throw because that throw could have been disastrous. Okay. Let's keep things pushing. All right. Now we are approaching the 4th quarter. We're going to get to the final drive in a second, but we're approaching the 4th quarter here. Actually, literally in the 4th quarter. The hands to the face call on Cornelius Lucas that went uncalled. I think it's important to show because when you look at this play, you kind of see the missed opportunity from Taylor. You see the offensive line breaking down again. And then you see how the Giants played the backside slant that Washington loves to run. First and foremost, I'm prefacing this by saying, yes, there should have been a call on Cornelius Lucas being helmet being taken off, right? Clear as day. However, within the structure of the play, the result had nothing to do with Lucas. Hope we understood that. Let's go ahead and run it, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so we're going to start from the top here, and then we'll show the end zone angle in a second. All right, so what's going on here? I love the play design on the 3 side. So you got a 3-by-1. Logan Thomas, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson. 3-by-1 with Terry McLaurin on the boundary side. At the snap, because if you all remember, like, Terry eats on those slants, right? Washington has called several backside slants throughout the course of like the past few weeks. It is what it is. Nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. And they called it several times in this game, and they called it after this play. So they continue to run slants. However, in this man situation, let's go ahead and get this thing. They're running cover 2 man on, I think this is 3rd and 13. So this 3rd and 13 sack ends up leading to the missed field goal. Oh, my bad. The backside slant. He has inside shade. Terry has to cross his face, right? But he's not allowing anything to the inside. Terry loses on this route. You know what happens? No big deal. Technique wins. Technique wins for 22. Route is gone. Taylor starts his reads from the left to right. So you have that backside slant being there for him, but it's not, in terms of his reads being there, but it's not there. So he looks him off. And now at this point, he doesn't work back to the other side quick enough. because now you have on the other side Logan Thomas running an out route, taking an outside release and running an out route. Over top of the out route, you have a post. You have a post. So you have your out, your post. And underneath, on the first level, underneath that out route, right, is a whip. So this is a very good man beater. Logan Thomas does a good job taking his man and trying to drive him upfield, right? And with his route taking an outside release, it causes conflict on Curtis Samuel's guy, right? He has to get over top of his defender. He has to get over top of his teammate in this instance. He can't get underneath it. So he's thinking he's running a crosser. That's where that commit comes from, right? That's where that comes from, that commitment. He thinking he's running a crosser. That middle of the field is wide open. Side note, I think that Washington dropped the ball, not attacking the middle field more often with Curtis Samuel. But the whip route wide open, 3rd and 13. If the ball is out right now, there's nobody. Like, their backs are to Curtis Samuel. Taylor, at this point, eyes are in the middle of the field. I don't even know what he's looking at. Again, remember, we started off from the left side, right? The boundary. His route is gone. He started on the boundary side, route's gone. But Curtis Samuel's wide open. He's not able to hit it or not able to find him. He doesn't even see Curtis. Now, what happens up front? Again, remember, we talked about how we understand the Cornelius Lucas hands to the face should have been a flag call, right? But now you have up front, again, 69-71, Wes Schweitzer and Tyler Larsen going up against Dexter Lawrence. Now, communication breaks down, right? Because, or understanding, because Wes Schweitzer is thinking he has help on 97. Tyler gives him a shove because 53 is crashing. But not only is 53 crashing, he ends up going to Andrew Norwell. So that allows Dexter Lawrence to win inside and get that sack, because Tyler Larsen isn't giving help to Wes Schweitzer anymore. So you kind of see how this whole thing played out. 53 knew where he was going. He's attacking the left guard because he's trying, if Tyler Larsen gets off of 97, it's a win for 97. And that's all it is. It's a test. Like, I'm gonna test your discipline and your scheme. And if you stop us, you stop us. But if you don't, we win. I mean that's I said it very, very elementary, right? But I think you understand my point. Like, I want to see how you defend this. And they weren't able to pick this up right. So that's what happens. Again, hands to the face. Cornelius Lucas should have been called. But within the structure of the play, Lucas wasn't around it. You have to see how the result worked out. Missed opportunity in terms of the whip route. Terry, backside slant, cut off. And then you have the double team up front that ends up not being a double team. And Dexter Lawrence wins. Ends up being a sack. Ends up being a missed field goal at the very next play. Took the ball V-shape good, but you just swung your arm at nothing. Yeah, I'm with you. What's up, lady? We about to go outside soon. Where we at? This play looks like Taylor starts the play on the wrong side. 17 is closed, and he looks to delay the route. If you're running a man beater, and that's my thing is out to, like, these players know the play. Taylor knows the play, and I think it goes back again. 17 is nothing wrong. Like, he is your number one option. We know that, right, Altu? Taylor Heinicke Terry McLaurin is your number one option. There is nothing wrong with that. However, you have to understand, especially if you understand that they're in man coverage or that they may be in man coverage, you have a man beater on the other side. You have a natural pick. You have a natural pick play on the other side. That could have been your best option. But trusting Terry too much can get you in trouble. And he's shown that on several occasions. I think Taylor Heinicke goes rogue here in unwavering confidence. Terry on the slant. Yeah. And it's funny because I was saying what I said. I didn't even see you say it, make this comment. I'm with you. I think he said, F it, man. Hey, Terry gonna win. Terry gonna win. You can see weak attack Cosme Larson. Hey, no, so remember, this wasn't that wasn't Cosme, that was Wes Schweitzer. Wes Schweitzer comes in at that point. Wes Schweitzer been in for I think a couple series at that point. I don't even remember what happened. I know Cosme got hurt, but I don't remember when it happened. So at that point, that's what you see. He said two quarterbacks might be good for us. We're already a toxic franchise. Good Lord. Where are we at? Let's continue on. Okay, so now we're on the last drive. We're on the last drive. Let's show why Taylor Magic, Heineke Magic exists. And if you all remember the play, the drive against the Colts, a lot of people think, I don't know, it's weird. A lot of people think that, or there's several people online that think that, you know, if you put out some negatives or that it's too one sided. I'm like, bro, I have shown like the drive against the Colts. The last two drives were amazing. And this drive was just as good, primarily because of that goddamn 4th down and 4 call. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll talk about. I got like 4 or 5 more plays. Got four or 5 more plays. But here is where we get to the last drive, the game tying drive. Starts off with Terry. Again, what did we say? Backside slant, boom, open. So he's never going to stop looking. He's never going to stop looking at Terry. The only difference is this isn't man coverage. This is I think cover 3. So the reason why it's open this time, you don't have a cornerback man on man with Terry. So he has no reason to not believe that, or he shouldn't have no reason not to believe that Terry is going to win, even though you see that corner cheating and thinking that slant is coming, because you have that 3-by-1 look once again with Terry isolated on the boundary. It's only but so many routes you can run when your split is like that, right? When you're that far out. So there you go. Conversion, first down, chains moving. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep things pushing. 4 plays later is that 4th and 4 call with Curtis Samuel. And this is why I love Curtis, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Curtis Samuel is a competitor. And I think these moments is what really stands out for Curtis in understanding, like, he knows a play is never over until the whistle blows. And he's instinctive when plays break down. Again, nobody's open here. Nobody's open. Technically, if you want to say Terry's open, cool. He sits down right here. You can drill it to him, and you got to hope, because he's shorter the sticks, you got to hope that he finds himself to the first down. But he's not open. So it is what it is. Continue on. He gets some pressure in his face, but he doesn't give up. He's just extending at this point, right? So you have, at that point that he's extended, you have Curtis Samuel at the top of the screen, running and breaking in. But he's not open. Immediately as he sees Taylor Heineke scrambling, bounces back outside. Clutch catch, gets out of bounds. First down. 20 yards. Scramble drills are important. Like, never give up on a play. Nobody's open. And shout out to Taylor, right? Like, as good as a ball as it gets on 4th down. Like, no stress. Nobody has to moss anybody. Right in the bucket. Like, one of your best passes comes at the end of the game. Good play. Very good play. Let's show it from the other angle. On the move at that. Going the opposite way of his of the right side. He's going left, throwing right. Throwing with his right arm. It is what it is. That's something, right? Let's keep it pushing. Let me go to 2 plays later with Curtis. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. 2 plays later with Curtis. You get another one. Taylor's locked in. Taylor's locked in. You got a deep out from Curtis Samuel from the slot. Destroys the corner. Terry sees this. I mean, Taylor sees this. Does anybody else call Taylor Terry? I do this all the time. You got the breaking out, man coverage again, out of bounds, boom. 45 yards for Curtis Samuel on the last drive. 45 reception yards on the last drive. And then you have the big play right after that. The big play right after that. Let's go ahead and show it. Slide alignment again. Boom. Cuts upfield. Spin move. End zone. Game winner. I keep saying that. Game time drive. Okay. So again, now you got an empty set 3-by-2 formation. They don't have that many at the line of scrimmage, which is actually weird, given that they were showing pressure throughout the entire game, but they don't want to do it on this drive. Maybe this time they don't do it because Washington is threatening. So they're just relying on man coverage at this point. So Jahan Dotson at this point he's facing a soft press, right? And that little hesitation move, right? He's been doing that throughout the game, mind you. I should have said that, but he's been doing that throughout the game against multiple defenders. So he's been setting this up the whole time. And that little subtle hesitation creates that separation, and you have the instinctive ability from Jahan Dotson after the catch to make something happen for your team. Like, that's very good vision after the catch. It's the reason why he was a punt returner in college or kick returner, wherever he was. Like, you can make that happen. Easy money for Jahan Dotson. All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and catch up with some of the comments. I've been poking fun at Taylor all week. That's reading progression involves what Terry does is doing like 4 times. I agree. Yeah, I agree. They are getting success there. See, doesn't play in his foot. 17, he's gonna beat you to the spot. Yep. The reason why I like Taylor is he stays decisive. He makes bad reads and mistakes a lot, misses easy throws. But Wentz becomes indecisive when he gets pressured and everything's break down. I like how you talking this morning, Al, too. Wentz is a pretty good quarterback when he can be in rhythm and stay calm. But with Wentz, when his rhythm is disrupted and he stops trusting his eyes, it becomes real ugly. Heineke straight up doesn't give a shit and will find his rhythm. Hey, I'll get it back. I'll get it. Just give me a couple drives. Give me a couple plays. I'll get it back. I like this. Hey, this man out too spitting fire this morning, bro. God damn. Okay. Now he done tied it up, right? These are the last couple plays. These are 2 plays from the last drive when Washington got it back after the Giants went 3-and-out. And this is where things almost got ugly again for Washington. The I don't give a shit part from Taylor. Oh, damn. So you kind of see how that works, right? You saw that. He got blessed. Simple. Giants is showing what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the line of scrimmage. My bad, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. 93. All right. Showing 7 at the line of scrimmage. Taylor may be assuming that it's a cover 1 man. Like, he may be thinking that. I'm not sure. But in essence, like, if he thinks that it's a cover 1 man, then the curl should be open. But it's not a cover 1 man. And because he's breaking, like, look, the cornerback fooled, like, he's going to the flats for a reason. Like, his whole goal was to get to the flats and protect that cornerback. His whole goal was to get to the flats. So the defense fools Taylor right here. Taylor. And it should have been a pick 6, but that cornerback ain't got no vert. Cornerback ain't got no vert. Let's show the other angle. Boom. Out of bounds. Terry saves the drive. And then 4 plays later, you get, oops, I didn't mean to do that. 4 plays later, Washington gets blessed again. And this one, same thing in terms of like a Taylor issue. This time, he doesn't get fooled. He actually makes the right read. The issue is right here. Didn't step into the throw. He just heaved the ball out. It floats, right? If he's able to drive on this football and put it to toward the sideline, Cam Sims has an opportunity to make a play on this, but he doesn't. Therefore, almost intercepted. Not able to. So yes, pressure was there, right? But you didn't have to keep dropping back. Like that's what Wentz does. Mind you, like we all talked about it. That's what Wentz does in the pocket. Like he rolls into it, he backs up. So that's what happens right there. 2 near interceptions towards the end of the game. And then I have one last play in overtime. I'm gonna show the Curtis Samuel run because that's important. This is the one that sets us up in good field position for a potential game-winning score, whether it's field goal or touchdown. Likely field goal, but you have a trap run that was well executed, sending Curtis in the backfield. You have your offensive linemen allowing, like selling pass, right? Allowing those pass rushers to get upfield. They're a little bit aggressive. You see Kayvon up here. You have Logan Thomas selling pass protection, right? Look where his hands are. The defender's hands are. He's ready to get in pass pro mode, right? Boom, slip. Same thing up front, 71-78. And because he falls, Andrew Norwell was supposed to, trap, hit him with a block right there, but he falls down. So he doesn't need to. But what this does is allows the blockers get to. You got 3 blockers on the second level. Curtis Samuel just makes everything else happen right there. That's a natural running back for you. So now after this is the last play I got for you all. After that, you end up in a 1st and 10 with good opportunity. And now you have a 2nd and 7 situation for Washington where they're running an inside zone, or stretch zone, I believe. And I only have one issue with this. I didn't have an issue with a run, but I had one issue with this. Let's see if you understand what the issue is. Oh, damn, it's on the screen. It's on the screen. My bad. I forgot that I'd be naming my plays. So I don't mind running a zone run. Like, it is what it is. Like, you're in scoring range. All you need is a few more yards. Like 2nd and 7, you get 3. You're in a 3rd and 4. You get 4, you're in a 3rd and 3. You get 2, 3rd and 5. Like, all manageable situations, right? But why do you have Logan Thomas, who is not a good blocker, on the strong side of the formation, on the play side, responsible for blocking the edge defender? Where's John Bates? Like, if you're worried about tendency in this instance in overtime, or if you're worried about dressing up something, or if you're worried about like John Bates being the only person out there and that the Giants are going to key in on the run, so what? I don't care if they're going to key in on the run. And if you're concerned about that, have different personnel out there. Have 12 personnel, 13 personnel. John Bates should be out there. And this is the result you get when you don't have a good blocker. Now you lose 3 yards. And you're back at 3rd and 10. And you run a screen and you get 1 yard. And now you have to punt. I don't want Logan Thomas out there if he ain't getting no help. He is ass. He's had good moments as a blocker, but he is not a good blocker. Ass. So that's my only issue with that play call. I don't have a problem with them running in that instance. 2nd and 7, you're in good situation to run it again. And truthfully speaking, that play was blocked up well outside of Logan Thomas. So you had opportunity to maybe even get a first down if Logan Thomas can occupy Kayvon for 2 seconds, but he's not even able to do it for a second. So that's kind of what hurts Washington there. I don't think Scott Turner made the right decision putting in Logan Thomas for that situation, for that moment of the game. It should have been John Bates. And if you didn't want it to be one tight end and you wanted to dress up the run different, it should have just been 12 or 13 personnel. Get the run and see what you can get, because you knew if you trusted your team, you trusted your offense and your run game, you knew you was going to get at least 2 yards. You were averaging nearly 5 yards a carry with Brian Robinson himself. Why is Logan Thomas in? Norwell needs to be smarter and leave that chump on the ground and break up field. Could have got us into field goal range. He jumps on the dude, is dead on the play. Smart from Kayvon. He splits wide, forces the left tackle to take him one-on-one and straight up beats him. Logan Thomas, my bad. I think Logan Thomas is hoping Kayvon will stay inside and just crashes down. So you gotta be ready, man. It's never gonna be, linear in terms of the thought process. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, for Logan, he gotta be on it, especially when you out there, bro. Coaches ask you to make a block. You gotta do that shit. My bad. If you listening, Wilson, my bad, dog. Nah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was bad, bro. I just think the personnel was bad. I don't think Logan Thomas should have been out there. I just don't think he should have been out there. Yeah. All right. Next week should give me enough time to go through the defense. I think the good thing is the bye week allows us to look at the defense because we have the same opponent in 2 weeks. So that's the offensive side. In terms of the morning show will be back. Ooh, I got jury duty next week. I don't know what's about to happen. I got jury duty next week. Damn. I guess it definitely morning show will be back next Wednesday, I think, then. Or maybe we try to do damn, I'm out of town. All right, schedule wise, all 32 coming out tonight. We will be back next Wednesday, hopefully, because I don't know what the jury duty situation is going to look like until they call my name, and hopefully they don't call me, because I don't want to be no juror, bro. That's just too time consuming. So let's go ahead and circle back, but that's going to end it for today. The film session on the offensive side of the football. My overall thoughts about how they played, and I just think that throughout the game it was missed opportunities. The offensive ground game, I thought the ground game was pretty good. I liked how Washington was able to execute in certain instances, but I think that the main problem was that they weren't able to handle Martindale's pressure schemes. They weren't making the right protection calls up front. They were misdiagnosing the pressure sides. Players went unaccounted for, right? Kayvon specifically went accounted for a couple times throughout the game. Taylor Heinicke had some misreads. Again, on the offensive side of the football I'm speaking of, I just think that some of these, the way in which they played, they weren't pressure ultimately got to them, and it affected several drives. And moving forward, obviously, you got to come up with a better plan, especially in 11 personnel, and how you're going to handle pressure. 12 personnel had a lot of success out of it, 12-13, because you can dress up if you're going to run or pass out of it, and it forces the Giants to cover with some linebackers who aren't really capable of doing that. They got to match your personnel. And that's where Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Antonio Gibson was able to eat out of those alignments, or those formations, personnel packages, whatever you call it. But they got to find a way, if you're going to run 11, to consistently be able to pick up that pressure. You have to find a way to handle 97. 97 was able to wreak a couple drives by himself. And I don't know what the Larson situation is going to look like moving forward in terms of his injury status and his timetable. His injury and his timetable, but I think that is also something that they're going to have to key in on. 97, 99. That was my key, one of my keys to the game last week or this past week. 97, 99 they got to get shut down, and they weren't able to do that. And I don't think they're going to be able to shut them down this week either, or this upcoming week, but you got to find a way to get these guys some help, whether it's doubling 97 every single time on the pass rush that he's out there, or rolling Taylor out of the pocket. But it's hard to do that with those linebackers, those edge rushers that the Giants have. You got to find a way to get them out of the pocket if you can. Or work the middle of the field that I talked about. Like, they going to run man. There's going to be opportunity in the middle of the field to kind of give Curtis Samuel some opportunities. I don't know, or completely go out of empty or something like that to counter the cover one pressures. But again, there's a lot to think about moving forward, especially after this bye week. So I'm out of here. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy y'all Monday. I'm tripping. Enjoy y'all Wednesday. I wish it was Monday. I was off. Enjoy y'all Wednesday, man. And we will be back sometime soon. It's a bye week, man. Yes. Randomly say what's up, cousin, in direction of the defense table. I wasn't even looking at the comments. Damn, my bad. He's here. He must have done something wrong. Stick Martin out there. Yeah. Peace. Mesh the middle. I'm with you. Mesh. They're gonna be ready for the mesh though, so you gotta find some counters off of the mesh. Some counter looks off the mesh. But yeah. Appreciate y'all boys, man. Y'all take it easy. Peace.